no, Susie, it's not time for lip filler.
She looked bad.
No is at the top of my vocabulary list.
Right here.
Red flag.
Hope no patients are walking by me.
I don't function with my glasses on unless I'm forced to.
Walk around the farmer's market. This is what people look like.
Is this person unhappy with themselves, or is this a problem that I can fix? Welcome to Fill and Tell, where we spill the tea on all things aesthetics.
We're your hosts. I'm Megan.
And I'm Lauren.
We're here to give you the inside scoop on what goes on behind the treatment room door.
From filler to facelifts, skincare to aesthetic secrets.
We're taking you behind the scenes of the industry with unfiltered conversations, expert insights, and maybe a little gossip along the way. So today we're going to talk about mental health in the aesthetic world. I think this can go both ways. Both sides of the syringe, injector, patient, the burdens that we feel like we carry when patients have insecurities, with our own insecurities, and then just the pressure to sort of be perfect all of the time and the consumerism that comes from all of that. And then just kind of going between the weeds of what we see on social media and how we can set boundaries within that of what we're consuming. So yeah, we're just going to talk about kind of this emotional burden that we can feel as injectors, how we can navigate this and help protect our patients' well-being, and then maybe a little bit of how therapy can help us all.
Right. It's so funny because some background, I started seeing a therapist when I came to Tallahassee, and I literally freaking love her. I refer every single person to her. And so Megan came to me and maybe didn't like her therapist at the time or was looking for a new one. I was like, you got to go see her. Then Sharon comes to me and she's like, where should I go? I'm like, you have to go see her. I'm like, we should put you on staff at our office because now the whole office sees her. Our friends see her, and she's probably like, oh my God, I'm hearing every single side of every single story.
Well, she did say, if it ever becomes between the three of you, I can't, usually our topics that...
She picks me. I was first, right?
She said that she couldn't be in the middle.
So I get to stay. So I feel like that's just like a fun segue into also normalizing mental health too, and just we all need a little bit of venting from time to time and feel overwhelmed and feel all of the pressures of everything, of life, of social media especially. And we vent and talk to each other, but I think sometimes it's nice to have an outlet of somebody else who can get you to see, a non-biased third-party view of a different way of looking at something. That's what I obviously really enjoy about going to therapy, is because I need somebody who's not so close to me to give me some honest,
some objective
feedback.
And some solid ground.
Right.
I think that's how she is in my life, is when I'm sort of spiraling at work, or I'm just confused about something, or there's something big that we are trying to create. She is sort of like, okay, let's just peel back the onion. Let's peel back the layers. Let's see what's actually important and what's not. And I think from our perspective, or at least some of the burdens that, we can carry, is you become everyone else's therapist, it's like a hairstylist, I know.
Right?
You sort of get all the gossip, but at the same time, someone comes in and they're literally like, I don't like this about myself.
Right.
And so you have to kind of carry that and do your best to make them then like it. Because,
but you have to like yourself to begin with, right?
Yes.
You can want to make something improved, and I think it goes to our job to be really able to identify, is this person unhappy with themselves, or is this a problem that I can fix?
Right.
And
I completely
that's hard
agree
to
with
do.
You. That is hard. That goes into the red flags of a patient, the dysmorphia side. Yeah. That we have to finagle too.
I feel weight when I'm talking to my patients because I truly try to feel like I want to remember every single thing about them, because when they come back in, I need to remember that Susie was getting her floors done and she had to move out and she lived in an RV for 2 weeks. And I need to remember that she did that so I can ask her how that's going.
Yes.
I need to remember that Sally's daughter is getting married and I need to remember to ask about photos.
Right.
So you are carrying this weight of just I mean, these are people that we know and we love, and
you get close to.
Yes, they have people die. Like
Yeah.
you go through all of this life with them.
There was a trend on social media that said, you think that we're just your injector, but and then it like clipped to them being in different scenes, and they're in the grocery store, and they're like, I wonder how Greg's surgery went, and then they're in a different scenario, and they're like, I wonder how Lauren's wedding went. So
which is so true.
We do carry a lot of work with us, and we also carry an emotional burden of y'all's lives with us,
right?
And making you feel better. And it also is heavy for us because there's days where we don't feel beautiful. I mean, everyone goes through that. Like, we have cycles that we go through, or I just got a CO2 laser done. Like, I want to stay home, or I have a big pimple, or I'm just like down that day. But
I'm just like tired and I'm exhausted. But you show up.
They expect me, and I would expect this from someone else, to go there and be on.
I think everyone can feel that in the service industry. Like, you provide a service.
Yeah.
And your customer expects top-notch service. And I think, everyone in this room can kind of definitely resonate with that, because that's hard. Because it doesn't matter sometimes what you're going through. You have to show up for your clients and for your customers and your patients every day, no matter what capacity you're in.
You're sort of a walking billboard for your own brand.
Oh, absolutely.
I think about that when I'm walking my dog in the morning. I have my glasses on.
You got your glasses on.
I'm in sweatpants, and I hope no patients are like walking by me. But then again, I was thinking too that, okay, walking billboard, but also that makes you so relatable.
Yes.
Like, people are normal humans. We are normal humans. Like, I'm going to wear sweatpants when I walk my dog at 6:30 in the morning. Like,
it's funny to me when because we show up to Pilates at 6 a.m. I always put my contacts in. Megan always shows up in her glasses. And it's so funny to me. I don't know why. I think it's just because, like, I don't function with my glasses on unless I'm forced to. So.
Well, let me tell you that I was putting my contacts in, and then they would get so dry in the Pilates class that I almost had to take them out and redo them when I would get back home.
Oh.
Also, I've gotten so lazy that I roll out of bed, put my clothes on, put my glasses on, and I go.
I'm surprised you don't sleep in your Pilates clothes.
I would if I could.
Just roll straight out and then straight to Pilates.
Yeah. Like, your day in the life video had, like, you're mixing your drink, you're doing this. No. I wake up, I have to leave at 5:45. I wake up at like 5:40.
5:40, wow. I live right down the street from Pilates. I wake up at 5:30.
Yeah.
I don't know how you do that and get there.
Sometimes I'm late.
So the flip side of all of that is the patient side. And I think that there's some red flag patients walking around out there.
There are.
No one here, but like I've seen some, and I have to have some conversations with them about what's going on.
Yeah. So, what's a red flag that you've had in clinic lately, or maybe like the biggest red flag that comes to your mind? I know I have one right here. Because it just happened.
Go for it.
So, I might have even mentioned this in another podcast episode, but a lady came to me and she wanted to get cheek filler. She said she had some filler dissolved in the past, and she felt a little bit flatter right here. So she wanted some cheek filler right there. And when I went in to talk to her, she said she had 4 sessions of dissolving.
Okay.
I'll just cut to it. Like, I could see the filler sitting in her temple to where it was bogging down her brow. I even mentioned that, and she was like, "Oh yeah, I was thinking about getting a brow lift because my brows are so heavy." You could see the filler all through here. She didn't even have a tear trough. It was just like full of filler. You could just see like the pillow face cheeks.
And she wanted more.
She wanted more filler because the way they dissolved it, it did look a little bit flat. So I had a really hard she's a red flag in that, like, she's way overfilled.
Right.
Like, those are the people walking around that, like,
she can't see it.
She has filler blindness, and so I had a really honest conversation with her, and I showed her the things that I was seeing, and she actually ended up letting me dissolve a little bit. And then I thought I wasn't going to see her again because they're from, like, out of country. And they're visiting family here and stuff. And so she came back the next day and got more dissolved. Because after having that hard conversation, she trusted me.
Yeah.
No one told her no. And if your PSA, if your injectors aren't telling you no, you need to maybe find a new one.
Right.
Unless you're just getting like Botox
if you're
and
just
stuff.
starting,
but, like,
okay, different.
When you've had lip filler and you might want more, like, you really do need to reassess and
I feel
be with
like
an
I tell
injector.
patients no every single day. I've been injecting some of these same people for 4 years now.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll have the same ones come in. Is it time for lip filler? Is it time for lip filler? It's always lip filler. I'm like, no, Susie, it's not time for lip filler. Like, get out.
Mm-hmm.
And so you have to be able to say no. And I say no a lot. And I have to say no to people, unfortunately, and they never come back.
Yeah.
And that's okay, because at the end of the day, like, it protects them. It also protects me.
Yes.
Because I am, you are my walking billboard, actually.
Right.
So I had a patient come in to me who had gotten lip filler in Vegas, and I think they put 3 syringes of lip filler in her. And she came to me because
I remember.
They left her with these 2 little pillows, right?
Yeah.
2 little pillows in her lips.
In her tubercles, like, right here.
Right, and this completely, like, center not filled. And she was like, can you just fill that? And I was like, no, because you're going to go tell somebody that I put something in your lips, and they're going to think that that's what I did.
Yeah.
Even though you just want me to correct a little asymmetry, like, I think you should have them dissolved. We don't see eye to eye. I don't think I'm the injector for you. I can refer you to anywhere else, but we can't do this.
Yeah.
And
so
it sucks.
those are, those are the red flags that
we
patients
see
present with, that we have to have those conversations, and you just run the risk of them not coming back, and that's okay, because you weren't, their injector.
Other ones, though, are like complete symmetry, wanting no line,
chasing
no pore,
every line.
Just completely disassociated almost from the real world and what people look like. And they see somebody on TikTok who has a beauty filter on everything. And of course they looked airbrush. Because they are.
Yes. Like, I think we need to get off our phones and, like, go touch some grass, because people don't look like that. Like, walk around the farmer's market. Like, this is what people look like.
Right.
And so and this is mostly for patients, that, and ourselves, we are comparing ourselves constantly. We are such consumers these days. So for patients, it's hard. They're like, well, do I want that? Like, am I supposed to get that laser that you just posted about? Okay, do I need Sculptra? Okay, I like Hailey Bieber's lips. Can you give me that?
Yeah.
So it's probably very hard for patients, too, to keep up with things that they feel like they need to keep up with.
Right. And so having a good injector, just to, like, you don't need everything. We have tons of tools in the tool belt to be able to deliver the best results for your individual needs. And that's why we have so many different things. It's not because every person needs every single thing.
Right.
I mean, my treatment plan looks totally different for every single person. And just because I'm not recommending microneedling to somebody doesn't mean that I don't love it. It's just maybe not the best treatment for you at this time.
Right.
That's okay.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, when our BBL laser came out, I had several of my patients that I suggested getting a CO2 laser will ask me, well, do I need a BBL laser? And I was like, well, remember, we talked about, your perioral line, some tightening, this and that. So I think they just get confused because there's so much information, sometimes false information, advice out there. We always try to put out information. So,
yeah,
it's hard. Another red flag is bringing in your ID photo from 16 years ago.
Which reminds me, my dad, for some reason, kept all of his expired licenses. I'm like, why are you keeping these?
Yeah.
I don't know.
He wants
just
to
in
look
case
back
I
at
need them one day. I want to go back and look at pictures. That's just what he said. It's like, you have a phone, like iPhone. You can go back and look at them.
Yeah.
But it's so true. I mean, and he looks insanely different from 20 years ago.
Yeah.
And so the only time bringing in old photos is helpful is if it's from when you started doing aesthetic treatments.
Yeah.
Because when you get so far outside of that norm, you need to be able to go back and see, where did we start?
So that's what my patient did, who was super overfilled. She showed me her driver's license photo.
Okay.
It was like 16 years.
Mm-hmm.
She did not look like the same person. She looked bad.
She looked bad.
Like, I'm trying to be nice. She was just so distorted. I felt really bad. She looked like the alienization. She looked like she's had plastic surgery. She's had a bunch of filler. She's had filler in her lips. Her face doesn't move. That's the person that makes Botox and filler bad for all of us.
Right.
Because then those are the you see her and you're like, well, I don't want to
But
look like her.
But it's not even her fault. It's that injector's fault.
Absolutely.
Because I go back to before and afters of all of my patients and I say, this is how we started. Yep. This is where we're at now. Do you see a difference?
She told me they didn't take photos of her.
Red flag.
Yep. Yeah.
Because you have to be able to do that. I dissolved a girl not too long ago over like 3 or 4 sessions. And she was like, my injector never took photos of me. She was like, but I don't feel like myself anymore. And then she messaged me and it was so sweet. And she was like, I felt like I can finally like smile again and like look like myself. Wow. And like, I'm so thankful that you did that.
Right.
But you have to, like, the perception drift is extremely real. I mean, we have it. Yeah. But you forget where you started and you forget where you are. Yep. And so then you're just constantly looking at that next thing that needs to be tweaked or touched up. And then you start to look weird.
Well, yeah, and I think that that's a huge red flag is when our patients come in and they're constantly wanting just the little bit of filler to fix the little bitty line, to fix the little bitty comma. Yeah. Sending DMs of like inspo pictures or can I get this? Can I get that?
You got to kind of just pump the brakes. Yeah. You got to be able to live for some other things other than aesthetics sometimes. And I think that that's really, there's a much bigger picture out there. I love what we do, and I think it makes a huge impact on patients and their quality of life and how they feel. But you got to have some other things going on besides the way that you look.
Yeah, I agree. Last one that bothers us is provider hopping.
No, yeah.
Just only mostly because it feels that people provider hop to like nickel and dime. Right. And I think that at the end of the day, it's only going to hurt them. I hate to say that and sort of act like, we're not stealing patients, but when your injector can't perform the full face as a whole or they're nervous to, then that's a red flag in my opinion.
Yeah, it is. And you have a much higher risk of developing resistance that way. When you're not getting all of your neurotoxin done at one time, you have a higher risk of developing resistance because you are reintroducing neurotoxin however many weeks later. And so I don't, I've had patients ask me to do my upper face and then come back in a couple weeks and do my lower face. Yeah. Like, no, we're either going to do it or we're not going to do it. But that's it, because
that's what I say too. If we can line those appointments up, and you love this person and you want them to do your lower face or your upper face, I'm fine to do your lower, but that's just how it goes sometimes.
I know.
So anyways, how this is a little bit like our burnout episode, but how do you protect your own mental health when you're going and having these hard conversations with patients, telling them they need to dissolve, telling them that you can't fix this or that?
It is hard. I mean, it's a hard conversation to have, and I think that very similar to what we've talked about before, I can compartmentalize that conversation, have it, walk out, and then I have to be ready to move on to the next person. And I think that patients are better for it, and they're certainly happier in the end, and we've kept them safe. But you do just have to, you have to be able to just say your piece, say no, say what it is, try to get this person to the right provider. I referred somebody to therapy the other day. I was like, we can't do your treatment until you are mentally like a little bit more stable. Wow. And I was like, you need to be cleared by your doctor and your therapist, and then you can come back to me, because it was the most off the wall like conversations. We were talking about every single thing, every little.
So something was wrong.
I was just like, this is too much.
Yeah.
We can't do this, and I think that some other stuff is going on right now, and I'm happy to see you when all that's taken care of.
Right.
But yeah, that sucks. That's a hard thing to say.
Yeah,
but
that's hard.
I have injected people way too many times out of the pressure to do it, and
it's
I have learned my lesson. It always backfires, always comes back to bite me. So yeah. No is at the top of my like vocabulary list these days.
And just like we've talked about this too before, staying in your own lane, staying in your own tunnel, having tunnel vision on yourself and your patients and our community, and not comparing to what other people are doing. Yeah, it's so easy on social media to compare what the other clinic is doing, what they have, how they're doing it.
You gotta just totally focus on yourself, and I think that's a great way to protect your mental health as an injector and as a patient, is to not compare, because we have just started this amazing new podcast and it's so much fun, but you see the next person who's doing a podcast and why do they have that many episodes and that many followers and how are they getting this many things out? And it's like, you gotta reel yourself back in and like know that you're doing, you're going at your pace, you're doing it the way that you're supposed to.
Right.
And if you stay in your own lane and like go forth, then I think you will achieve everything that you set yourself up for.
Yeah, I completely agree. And, just for patients, remember that aesthetic medicine is an option. Your
totally
Botox
elective.
is an option. We use it to enhance our features rather than completely change you. That's what we'll always be about. So always just remember that too. This is fun. This should be about enhancing your natural beauty and not changing it.
Right. Maintaining who you are as a person and your own like special characteristics and features and not trying to all look the same.
And if you need therapy, where to find her.
We've got a great reference. She's going to be like, I can't take any more patients.
She's going to be like, stop. Why are you guys talking about mental health so much? Why am I coming up so much on your podcast? All right. Well, this is a good one. I hope everyone learned perspective from our side versus us trying to relate to patients on the other side. And just know that at the end of the day, we care about you. We're treating you to the safest degree, and we're going to try to have fun doing it.
Absolutely.
Till next time.
See you guys.